How's it going, guys? So today's review is of course going to be of a Pantheon main in Korea. This guy, 70% win rate on Pantheon with a 6 KDA. Currently ranked 30 on the Korean server. And his Pantheon, man, I've been watching a couple of VODs and he has just been blowing me away with how aggressive he can play this champion. I think there's a couple of champions that are very underrated or unutilized at the moment. I think Pantheon is one of them. Silas is one of them. Diana. I think Diana is super strong. Not many people are playing it. As of late, Rumble, Rumble's not underrated. A lot of people are playing more Rumble, but I definitely think Pantheon, Silas are underrated at the moment and two of the strongest picks on the patch. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Just before we hit the riff, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more content like this. I'm traveling to Korea tomorrow. I'm really excited to go there, play against players such as this Pantheon. So there should be some great content coming out over the next couple of months. Jumping onto the rift now, taking a look at the rune page. It's a Conqueror setup. This is very standard and traditional for Pantheon. You'll see a little bit later on how easy it is to proc the Conqueror with Pantheon due to his empowered W, getting you 8 instant Conqueror stacks, and you can just instantly win the trade, get 10 stacks, and start to out-trade your opponent. Secondary, Time Warp Tonic, Biscuit Delivery. Starting item is the Corrupting Potion. Just allows for a lot of extra sustain in lane, and the starting ability is usually the W. He has gone for W here. In a longer range matchup, let's say you're versing an Orianna or a Azir, where it's very unlikely you'll actually get the spacing to get a W off at level 1, just go for that Q. Look to play it very slow, very controlled. Level 2, level 3, start looking for trades. You should be able to find yourself a solo kill level 2, level 3 if you play the lane correctly. You can see he's moving in, moving out here. The Galio can't really do much. I expect a W trade on level 2. As he dodges out onto that Galio. He hits level 2 here, gets the empowered spear off, and you can see how he's 10 stacks Conqueror already, guys. It is almost instantly that he gets those Conqueror stacks up and moving into this lane. It's going to shove into the Galio. You've got to be a little bit cautious when you're shoving into things like the Galio as a Pantheon. You have no clear escape tools. So if the Galio flash Ws you, you're probably going to die if the Lee Sin comes. Of course, the Pantheon has the E to block a lot of damage, so there's outplay potential for sure. Pantheon's kit, I think, is honestly one of the most annoying. You can block all incoming damage from a direction with your E. So that's just, you can block tower shots, anything that's coming in, guys. It's like a hard counter to things like Syndra. Syndra ults you, just E. Veigar, just E. It works very well into these burst mages, but also into these champions like the Galio. As he gets that W in, Lee Sin comes out. He's blocking the damage, you can see. He's 6-stack Conqueror here. He's looking to kite his way back into the turret. As he looks, the Lee Sin plays very aggressive here. Winds that Q. Q flashes, boom. You can actually, yeah, you can Q flash. You don't have to flash Q. You can wind it up and then flash as the Q's coming up, guys. He gets the double kill as the Gragas finally comes through. They want to shove this into tower before the Galio gets the teleport back. Otherwise, the Galio would teleport back on the minion wave. He'd pull a freeze and Pantheon would lose a lot. This time, he has to actually go into the tower. Let's see if the Galio can grab this freeze. He wants to prevent the base and grab a freeze here. The Pantheon's going to hit the base. I've noticed his items. He likes to go for the Ghost Blade first, into Black Cleaver, into Sterax, into GA. Obviously, getting that Serrated Dirk early on, you have so much lethality. You're looking to steamroll the game. The first like 5 to 10 minutes, man, you want to be steamrolling, taking over the map. You want to win your mid lane matchup. You want to get ultimate and then dive bot. Like bot lane dives are so easy because of the E block. You can block all incoming tower damage. And he sees there's a freeze on in the mid lane, so he just says, fuck that. I'm going to run straight bot lane with the skirmishes. Notice if the skirmish is bad, he's going to run back into the mid lane. What is the wave looking like? It's going to shove back into the Galio, it seems. Pantheon does not care about wave management here. He just wants to straight into the tower. Level 5 now. Looking to hard shove. The short range Q, guys, the stab is almost always better on Pantheon than the long range. The Q stab is very accurate. It's very quick to come out. The long range Q is actually very inaccurate. You should be using it, obviously, to like execute people from a long range. But other than that, man, the short range Q is actually very long. It's not as short as you think. Go on a practice tool, try it out a little bit. It's actually very, very good and very potent in lane to trade with. Moving in. I want to see him look for another trade here. See what happens. He has a huge item advantage onto the Galio. Show me the damage numbers, my brother. The freeze there. It's actually very hard for oh, as he's roaming your bot side. Galio's level 5, has no reaction to it. Beautiful. Wait, he got nothing. I thought he sniped that, but he just dropped to the ignite. Gonna come back into... Oh, looking still on the bot lane. You can see the River Assassin. Always there before the Galio. Just wondering on draft. Did he counterpick? Would you assume Galio is a counterpick to Pantheon? Because the Pantheon ult comes through and then Galio can ult it? I mean, in theory, it sounds okay. But I think the laning phase is going to be pretty hard for the Galio, honestly. Honestly? You can see that short range Q, guys. It does a lot. E block. Should be another Q coming through. Boom. This Galio's in kill range. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it. Doesn't opt for it. He has no flash. If he had flash, I would assume... Oh, looking for the snipe. Can't quite get it. Because of the E block, guys, on tower damage, like, you can play hyper aggressive under tower. The tower rush is pretty much irrelevant to you. Also, if you didn't know already, guys, you can see your passive. You can see it stacking underneath the health bar. When those stacks go red, it means you have an empowered ability as he ults into the bot lane. Come straight in for the rumble. Should be a free kill. Thank you very much. So the way the passive works, guys, the passive Q doesn't execute. So when you get that empowered ability, and those red bars stack up, you can use Q, W, E, and they all have different effects. Your Q becomes an execute. Your W does extra auto attacks. Your E blocks damage for a longer period of time. So it's all situationally dependent on what you want it for, which just opens up Pantheon to a lot of different plays in the mid lane. You can dive, block a lot of damage. You can do extra damage for executes, or you can just CC somebody for longer and do a lot more damage. So it's all entirely up to you. Galio is level 6 now. Pantheon ult's pretty long, early on. I believe it's about a 90-second cooldown, so... He won't have it for a while, and the Galio will have his ultimate to react to side lanes or react to that ultimate when it comes out. You're also definitely not a scaling champion on this Pantheon, guys. You want to be ending the game 15, 20 minutes in. You want to be ending as soon as humanly possible. You want to snowball. You want to get the lethality, end the game. If you're not winning your lanes early and not influencing the map in the first 10 minutes, you're not playing Pantheon correctly. You might as well play something else like that Cassidon. Something that scales into the later stages of the game. Moving in now. He has the empowered Q. Looking for it. Pretty decent engage, but the Galio just makes it out in time. Pantheon has flash. Oh, does he? Oh, I reckon he could flash for that, though. Decides against it. Gonna hard shove the wave in. They should have enough priority to get the Infernal Dragon here. Okay, we're still shoving, man. Ignite is coming up. He probably has enough for the Ghost Blade, so I'd expect him to get the base off, get the Ghost Blade. Ultimate is up in the next 20 seconds, so I assume he's going to look at on the bot side gank. A Zoe Rumble, I mean, that is so free. Also, for those of you unaware, Rumble support right now is all the rave in Korea. If you synergize it with something like an Ashe we saw in the LCK, you drop that Rumble Equalizer, man. It's a beautiful setup. So much base damage. You can see the wave clear is, it's simply a short range Q. You want to go through and finish the auto attacks. As the ultimate's up, are we going to see a dive or not? Okay, pink swords into the river. That's going to obviously prevent vision of him getting the ultimate out because you can't get it. It's very similar when you're playing things like Twisted Fate. You want to be warding towards the side, usually the bot lane, that you want to be prioritizing. So you can see he has a lot of vision and denying a lot of vision in that bot side river, and that's exactly what you need on these global roamers. Free ganks into the bot lane. As a sweeper as well, this man is all about vision denial. So moves out here, he's still looking bot. Has both summoners. I want to see him explode somewhere. Just moving in and hard shoving. Mana really isn't that big of an issue on Pantheon if you know how to use your abilities correctly. The short range Q, like, that's a little bit awkward. I wonder if Minion Dematerializer would help that clear out a little bit on the backlines. A one-shot Q would just feel so good playing Pantheon. You have to do it in some of the bickies. hovering right now out of vision. He's keeping his eyes on the bot lane. Galio, you can see every time Pantheon goes out of vision, the Galio goes out of vision and is looking to react in the bot lane. Ragus coming in. Look. They're forcing a little bit too hard on that. Definitely not doable. You probably want to do a 4-man dive, but the Galio and the Lee would probably be looking to react to it, for sure. Rumble coming through in the mid lane. Let's see if the Galio looks for the flash taunt. Could do it. Lee Sin hovering. Got all the action happening in the mid lane. He has the lead, but he's not ready to throw it over, okay? He's doing surefire things as he comes through with the ultimate into the top side. Hello. Oh, the Galio ult comes through, but it's going to be just missed. Pantheon's looking. Rakan engages. Pretty dodgy Rumble ult. Thank you very much for the double kill coming through. Can they chase for the lead? Absolutely not. As the Pantheon now has 5 kills. You can see how fast he is to move to those side lanes. Like, the Galio can hit ultimate, but it's very reactionary. It's very passive. It can't quite keep up to the Pantheon ultimate. You can see here, he's just snowballed the game out of control at this point. 4k gold lead for the blue side team. After shoving mid, it's looking like they want another top side dive. Lee Sin's coming up okay. Lee Sin's looking. He has to be very cautious here. Nice little snipe off onto the Lee. He's poked out a lot, but they can't quite commit as the Herald comes out. They should commit. Share these platings. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Thank you very much for the gold. Tower is dropped. And I assume the Black Cleaver comes out second, guys. So the Black Cleaver is very good for Pantheon. Obviously, your W empowered. You pretty much are getting instant Black Cleaver procs, shredding their armor, doing true damage to anybody you're up against. You can see the Phage here coming out. It's going to be a Black Cleaver second, definitely. But yeah, guys, I'm heading to Korea on Monday. I'm super excited. I'm heading over there with TF Blade. Mo and Sanchovis and Dom should be coming over a little bit later on. Should be a nice little Korea trip. Super keen to get back on the Korean server. It's been about a year and a half since I played. Hoping to get a matchup against my boy Dopa. Maybe some rematches against Faker, Doinby, Rookie. Should be a good time. As the Pantheon moves into the river. Looking for another bot side dive. God, this guy is just controlling the map, isn't he? Now, if you're looking for a little spring in your step, okay? Mobility boot Pantheon. It is good. You run it like a Talon. I'm not saying do it every game. I'm saying if you're snowballing, you want a little bit more extra movement speed. Grab those mobility boots, guys. You can jump into the side lanes that much quicker to snowball the game. Looking like the Galio has dropped into the side lane. Pantheon not really opting to match. You can see the Pantheon, he doesn't average high CS number, guys. It's because, obviously, he has such a big map control that he doesn't really play towards freezing lane, setting anything up. He plays towards hard shoving lanes and then proactively moving on the map, shutting down either the jungler or the side lanes. That's what it's about. It's not about creating massive CS leads in the mid lane and playing towards the lane. It's about map control. Which I think obviously is the meta right now. If you look at most mid laners, I think you'll notice like having a strong lane, it's great, getting a 10-15 CS lead, blah, blah, blah. But having perma shove and then roaming style, like things like the Talon, just diving on the side lanes, it just seems to give a lot better results. Things like the Kiana. You just drop your lane and perma roam. It's such a beautiful solo queue style. And it seems a little bit better right now in the meta than those like lane control mid laners. But you can play any champion. You can play Cassid and perma roaming. It doesn't really matter what champion you're playing. It's just the style. And some champions obviously benefit it a lot more than others. Hey, there's a ward there, bro. Okay. Pops the Ghost Blade, looking to pop behind the Rumble, maybe. Galio ults in. He can't go any. Dude. Is he seeing these wards? As he moves in. He has his flash and his ignite. W's in. Looking to land the Q. This would be a long range Q. Let's see. Pyong. One more Q there. He hasn't powered. Yep. Flash W. Really pops the exhaust. Oh, the Rumble pops the exhaust. One more Q. Get it. Get that long range Q, buddy. Pyong! Grabs the 8th kill of the game. So much strength in Pantheon's kit early on. As this game actually ends, enemy team FFs. It's a beautiful snowball, guys. Pantheon mid, give it a go in your ranked games. Make sure, as always, guys, test this out and practice it a couple of times for like 5-10 minutes. Wrap your head around the abilities, jump it in the rift, and grab some LP.